What is up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys having yourselves a great day here on the Nerd Talk channel. We have a brand new video that we're going to just have fun with. It is another tier listed video, but this time we're going to be tier listing all 7 of the Jurassic Park slash World franchise movies. And needless to say, I have always loved the Jurassic Park movies. They have always been a huge part of my life as a kid. Even though as a kid, the first one did scare me. I remember watching it. Oh, maybe at a friend's house, I think is when it was. I think that was the first time I watched it. Um, it was a movie that just terrified me as a kid, but as I got older, watched it. Like, it's a movie that I will watch nearly all the time. Like, if it's on TV, like 95% of the time I'm going to be watching it. The same could be said for some of the Jurassic Park slash World movies that we got along the line, but with talks of another Jurassic World movie being made, I thought this would be a good opportunity to do a little tier list, because obviously last July, we got Jurassic World Rebirth, which I did do a review for that here on the Nerd Talk channel, as you guys can go and check out. So let's just jump into it. This shouldn't be a very long video. We only got seven films. So we got Life Finds a Way as the top tier, Jurassic as the second, Middle of the Park, Welcome to an Okay Movie, and Dino Droppings. Now, I think what we're gonna do is, I think the best way to go about it is to go ahead and get the top one out the way. It's clear number one. Like Jurassic Park is a staple of anybody who loves movies um list. Like, it's top, it has to be top tier. If it's not, something's wrong with you. This movie, the CGI in it looks extremely better compared to some of the stuff that we see nowadays in most Hollywood movies, where you can definitely tell that is CGI. Now, yes, obviously dinosaurs aren't real, but back then, CGI was used in such a way that it just looked flawless. Like, it looked real as a kid when I watched Jurassic Park. Um, I think one of the T Rex. That's why the T Rex became one of my favorite dinosaurs, was because of Jurassic Park. Now, whether you want to say, it's fossil accurate of what a T Rex looked like or sounded like, yeah, that's fine. That's up for debate. But like, I just enjoy the T Rex. The whole sequence when the T Rex breaks out of the paddock is just timeless. I love watching that sequence. I love watching Rexy chase Malcolm, Ellie, and Arnold in the Jeep. The first time they step onto the island, Ellie and Grant see the Brachiosaurus. The Velociraptors were terrifying creatures. Watching them unlock a door. You had Samuel L. Jackson. That was a bonus as well. But it was just such a fun movie, and it's just one of my favorites that like I said, I will watch over and over and never be, sorry about that, never bored with it, because it's one of my favorites. So I think the next one we have is Jurassic World. I have to think about this one. The reason I have to think about this one, I'm going to say it's middle of the pack. The reason is because, and a lot of people felt this way too. Now, it is definitely more of a nostalgia monster horror film than it is like an actual dinosaur movie. But keep in mind, like, the people who grew up watching Jurassic Park, like watching John Hammond's dream get realized in Jurassic World, like when, like, the part where you see um Bryce Dallas Howard's character, Claire Edwards' nephews come, and you know the one kid, he's like, I don't want to wait anymore, and he opens the, like, the doors, and like you just zoom in on the park and you just see how the park is just full of people. It's just all of that going on. It's just like, it's very nostalgia because we got to see what John Hammond's dream was meant to be in this movie. Now, it's definitely a monster movie because you get the Indominus Rex, which is a very cool dinosaur. Like even though I put it in the middle of the pack, I actually really loved the Indominus Rex. I loved, obviously we got Chris Pratt, which I thought he was a fine addition. And then like I mentioned, Bryce Dallas Howard, she was also a fine addition. Although her running in the heels pretty much the entire movie, it's like, okay, what are we doing? We get new Velociraptors. You could probably say the Velociraptors are maybe a downside because they're not terrifying. I think the issue you're gonna find with the Jurassic World movies and as a whole is maybe probably after the first two, maybe Jurassic Park 3, but definitely the first two is the like dinosaurs like the Velociraptor. They just kind of stop being terrifying. Because you look at the ones in Jurassic Park, they're up in open doors and stuff like that. The Lost World of Jurassic Park, you had the Tiger Raptors and how they took out an entire party of armed men in the long grass. In Jurassic Park 3, you could say the Raptors there were just being more animalistic. They were just doing their, people came, took one of their eggs, they want it back. And now you get into the Jurassic World where you have basically docile raptors. Owen Grady is the leader of the pack of raptors, basically. And it's just kind of like, they're not as scary when they're semi-trained. And obviously there's a reason for that because they wanted to weaponize the raptors for military purposes and stuff like that. So, um, but overall, in Indominus Rex, we get to see the Mosasaurus. I remember people complaining about the movie because you had Zora, who was Claire Dearing's assistant, had a pretty terrible death. But it's Jurassic. It's a Jurassic World Park monster movie. People are gonna die in it. So I remember there was this whole blow up about it, and I was just kind of like, whatever. It's not really that serious. So middle of the park, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 3. I think Jurassic Park 3 is an okay movie. Um, we get to see Alan Grant again. Ellie Sattler makes an appearance throughout the film as well. We're back on Isla Sorna, although we're in a different part of Isla Sorna. We get the Spinosaurus, the Velociraptors. I just mentioned them, but I thought they look cool, especially the male raptors that kind of had like the quills on top of their head, the kind of like dark bluish patterns they had going on. Um, and then obviously I remember that the controversial T Rex and Spinosaurus fight. But it is an okay movie. There are just some things, just kind of like how you have Alan Grant sleeping on the plane on their way to Isla Nublar. He wakes up in a dream and it's a Velociraptor talking to him, but it's a Velociraptor from the other part of Isla Nublar, one that he has not seen before. Now, if it was one of the originals that he saw when he was on Isla Nublar, I think I meant Isla Sorna. I think I meant Isla Nublar just a second ago. But if it was one of the raptors he saw on Isla Nublar, okay, that's fine. The talking raptor is something, and obviously people bring up the whole Velociraptor resonating chamber that they 3D printed and used throughout the film. Um, and then obviously I remember too because about this movie it was just like you had the beginning of the movie you had those guys on the boat when it's with Eric and I think his name is Ben. I think his name was Ben, and they were parasailing, and then the boat goes into the fog, and it comes out of the fog. The guys are gone. There's blood. It's been attacked and stuff like that. So I don't remember what people said it was. Maybe the Spinosaurus. I don't know. Um, Pteranodons. Maybe I probably need to look that up and see. So yeah. Welcome to an okay movie. We have the Lost World of Jurassic Park. I'll actually put that at Jurassic. There are a lot of people that actually don't like this movie, and it's very surprising. Um, let me fix that a little bit. Which is very surprising that there are people who aren't really a big fan. I like the movie. Like it is to me, it's my second favorite Jurassic Park movie. Obviously, you get Jeff Goldblum back as Ian Malcolm, a whole new set of characters. We go to Isla Nublar now. Uh, I mean Isla Sorna now. We get the Rex parents. We get the whole San Diego fiasco with the Tyrannosauruses, the Velociraptors and the long grass. We get Roland, who is a very cool character, who basically is just like a big game hunter and wants to hunt one of the T Rexes as a trophy. Very cool. But overall, I mean, it's a standard. Oh, we're trapped on an island full of dinosaurs, kind of scenario. But now, oh, we're trapped on an island full of dinosaurs. We're trying to bring dinosaurs off the island to which I believe people have said that was a plan that John Hammond had. He wanted to eventually have like a stateside amusement park of the dinosaurs. Um, so that maybe, but overall, I mean, I like it. It's a very fun movie. It's another movie that I would just watch if it's on TV. So can't really complain too much about it. I mean, there's probably some gripes. If I went back and watched, I'd be like, that's something. But for the most part, the worst death in that movie is definitely Eddie. It's definitely Eddie because he gets taken by the male and female tyrannosaurs and gets snapped in half, and that definitely one of the most gruesome deaths. Either that or what was his name? Uh, Dieter, the guy that gets killed by the compies. I think that was his name. Yeah, he probably had it worse. He probably had it worse. They both had it worse, but we have I did it backwards. Hold on. Jurassic World goes there. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Uh ooh, is Dino droppings. It's not. Let me just zoom that out a little bit more. There we go. Fallen Kingdom. I don't know what it was with this movie, but they had this weird blue tint to it. And we did get to see some cool dinosaurs. Like we saw Sinoceratops, Allosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Baryonyx. Um, and then the whole plot of the movie is there's a volcano on Isla Nublar that's about to erupt. Some people are like, we should not intervene, let life do its job, and let the dinosaurs go extinct again. Others are like, no, we need to save the dinosaurs, take them to this new island here, this sanctuary that we can put them on. And then, but they mainly get sold off at an auction to the highest bidder, to a bunch of millionaires, whether it's like agriculture guys, big game hunter type of guys. And then we get the introduction of the Indoraptor, which I actually listen. This the Indominus Rex, Indoraptor, as far as like hybrid dinosaurs go, are very very cool designs, and I really really like them. And now because basically, you know, we get it to where dinosaurs are now loose on the mainland. Now we have to learn how to cohabitate with them and things like that. It's just like it's not really my favorite of them. It's just not. It's just not one of my favorites. Dominion. I think Dominion's an okay movie, even though it has a lot of issues. You have the whole freaking um, locust eating crops kind of stuff. I feel like we didn't get enough time with the Giganotosaurus. One of the big gripes I have with the Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion is they have these big dinosaur monster fights, which I don't hate. Don't get me wrong, but the problem I have is in every single one of them, Rexy loses, and it's always up to somebody or some dinosaur on the side to show up. Maybe with the exception of Fallen Kingdom, because Rexy doesn't really have a moment where she fights compared to like her fighting the Indominus Rex in Jurassic World or fighting the Giganotosaurus in Dominion. Whereas in World, you have Blue come in, help out, and then the Mosasaurus kind of finish things up. In Dominion, the Therizinosaurus helps out, probably mistakenly, maybe by accident, but it helps out for the most part, and it helps Rexy with the win. I really love though having the big three back, Ian, Alan, and Ellie. I really enjoyed that. Um, we got to see Lewis Dodson again, who technically was in the first movie. Um, but yeah, it's just yeah, you know. And then lastly, we have Rebirth. I'm gonna put this in the middle of the pack. I know a lot now. I know the plot wise of this movie is not very good at all, but I still like even though some of these are bad movies, I still like them. They're still fun dinosaur movies. Like the thing about me is when it comes to these type of movies is I know what they are. I know what they're generally made for. These are just turn off your brain, eat your popcorn monster movies. Maybe not with the first two. You could maybe slip in the first three, but particularly with the Jurassic World ones, as it goes on, they turn into more monster movies than anything else, which I'm okay with. I don't mind that. Sometimes it's okay to just to turn off your brain. It's despite what people say. Sometimes I think it's okay to just relax, turn off your brain, forget about the troubles of the world, and just watch a monster movie. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, although in that movie, although in Rebirth, you have a Snickers wrapper disable the entire security system, keeping the D-Rex, and then Mashal Ali character somehow survives its close encounter with the D-Rex. Come to find out, I believe in the original script of the movie, he was supposed to die. When we get hints of that throughout the movie, because I believe it sounds like he let his child, not he didn't let his child, but his child was killed by a dinosaur at some point. And this had something that was missing with the Jurassic World movies for the most part was like some gruesome deaths. I mentioned Zora in Jurassic World, and there's a few others as well, but this one was wild because you had Bobby get taken by a Spinosaurus, and you can literally hear him choke on water as the Spinosaurus drags him under, and then you had I believe it was Zoe. I think that was her name. You had Zoe, where she's just trying to get equipment off the beach and everything, and there's a Spinosaurus behind her just chilling, gets up and like sneaks up on her, and and takes her out, and then Leclerc, he gets eaten by a Quetzalcoatlus, and it was just like, holy heck, the way these, because I see a lot of people talk about it, like he was technically alive in its stomach, like it didn't, he just swallowed him like most like seagulls and birds and stuff like that. And I was just like, holy heck, these deaths are just brutal. Also, I mentioned the D-Rex, but you also got the Mutodons, which one of the things I didn't like about them was I wish they didn't fly how they did, but whatever. Um, I was okay with the Velociraptors not really being a star of the movie. They look cool when we saw them on screen. The T-Rex river raft sequence, very cool. I love that T-Rex. Um, but overall, it was an okay movie. Plot wise, not very good, but still just an okay movie for me. But yeah, that is all of them. That is all seven of Jurassic. Even though I put them in a tier list, I would definitely say Jurassic Park, Lost World, and probably Jurassic World are my top three. Was I think that's, yeah. So guys, that is relatively it. If you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Be sure you comment below. Tell me what you guys thought. How would you rank these movies? And other than that, I will see you all in the next video. Y'all have a good one.